Okay.
Interesting choice of words. A bit earlier than usual. Is it? Is it? How many weeks late is it?
Earlier in
we
the
skipped
time
2 weeks.
slot.
Did we skip 2 weeks or 3
Then
weeks?
again, considering the first update was about like 2 years overdue, this is kind of early,
That's a
like
good
or
point.
like 5 years overdue. This is earlier than usual.
That's a good point.
By
2 years.
in fairness, yeah, a couple of weeks is faster than 5 years due to everything getting in the way all at once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was actually. Well, anyway, it's been enough weeks that I sat down and I was like, what did we have to do last time?
Yeah.
What did we end on? And I remembered we ended on the radio playing in our safe house, and you didn't send me that save.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I
Right,
will.
'cause we were talking about that bug, right? Where the
'Cause-
thing asset didn't load or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't load.
I want to put a manual save in here so that I can
like
just like
disclosure alert. Sorry.
give you the files.
I think sending those is easier. If the last autosave, like the safe house or it's
Yeah.
default.sav.
There is the last autosave, but I'm making a manual like save here as well, just so
Okay.
in case, because we're gonna make progress today.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, I'm not sure that you can actually load saves other than autosave. Like if you transfer them to another computer or whatever, I'm not sure that you can actually load those saves.
Huh.
In the save menu. At least I remember having done that in the past.
Saves are annoying to transfer. Like,
But
they
you
come in all sorts of different places.
you can always load the safe house save and the autosave because they're saved just all the time, safe.sav and default.sav, and so you can just write over the previous save.
All right, so we.
So you do a cool trick where, like it'll autosave in kind of like the middle of a place where it'll autosave in a place where you can't actually make a hard save, and so you can like be that to some other place and then load it back in and overwrite the old autos to kind of jump in at an easier to get points for checking out different dialogue options and stuff.
This, in other words, save systems are annoying sometimes to work around. Let's see if we have anything we actually need to buy for like intel before we go on our next missions, whichever they end up happening to be.
It's the Taipei ones. I think we have to do. Do for the very Hongshim.
Oh, speaking of, this is closure alert.
Or unless we did that.
I am.
Oh, did we not introduce?
I am Brandon Carey. Joining me as always is Alduin
Hi, it's me.
and Will.
I do with my blood.
Will is a very quiet man indeed. Alright, so let's talk to this Hong Shi fellow,
My blood.
who is played by the guy who does every old Chinese dude you can think of from every show that's ever been made.
James Hong.
Exactly. Like, if you don't recognize this man's voice, you probably haven't been watching enough TV shows or movies or anything.
Or video games.
You don't know this guy, you're in big trouble. You're in Little China.
I know many things.
That was smooth too.
Told to someone, I'm sure. What is it you want from me?
Will is definitely a suave player.
I have no interest in entering with an American cowboy. It upsets my digestion. Please.
Mr. Ping and Kung Fu Panda? Yeah, that follows.
Someone is
Yeah.
planning to assassinate Ronald's son.
Literally every vaguely Chinese old man from
I'd be willing to
any
see if
piece of
he's
media
fat neck.
is probably this guy.
Yep. And if you need a stereotypical old Chinese dude, that would be him.
Clearly and succinctly.
Playing to type.
Mr. Thornton, a man in my position does not get to be a man
Was he
in
in-
my
was he in Human
position
Revolution
without
in
knowing
Hong
the
Kong?
value of a good trade.
I don't know. He might have been Tong.
What you need.
Some of my
I don't think it was exactly him, but it sounded similar.
Nah, I don't think so. It's not coming up.
They have set up shop in a disreputable part
Okay, there is exactly one old Chinese dude that is not James. That is amazing. There's actually someone that's not played by him.
Yeah, let's see what he's actually talking about here.
Oh, he's the money connection they've been working with.
Yeah.
Ultimod. Their
Mhm.
this how we connection is by following the money, so to speak.
Which
And we're gonna do a mission that on the definitely didn't happen botched practice run recording that Alduin, the new Dark Cloud, for some reason hasn't put up.
yeah, Alduin fucked it up. I agree with that first one you said. Alduin fucked it up for sure. It was not me.
Yeah, sure.
I am of course a flawless planner. That's how I got some assassin when
yeah.
I killed Sean Bean last
All right,
week.
you wanna talk about misspeakings? An original disclosure alert. At one point, you said like, I really like what Alwyn has to say here. I mean, what Albatross has to say here. Catching myself. So, don't talk about me. Anyway, yeah, New Dark brought up a really good point. What we're going to see in this mission is that Mike's going to find some intel about, oh, they're working with Al-Samad. Our local triad king is working with Al-Samad. Whoa. But actually, he already knows that.
Yeah, that's the
he's
thing,
talking
'cause-
to them in the first place.
In this mission, you track down like a couple people. Like, oh no, I can't believe Hong Shi's working with Al Samad. But like, of course he was.
Oh,
That's
this is an important one.
yeah. This is this mission we're doing.
No. This email that you're on or Pat, I have to find out how behind I am. But this email we get to choose between different background intel on each of them. It's up to you which one you'd like to read about. I've got the emails listed for all of them. I can the images so that you can post them on your website, whatever. But
I feel like I almost always.
Parker's probably the most interesting of them.
Yeah.
Darcy's is the only way to get the final. Choosing Darcy is the only way to get the final Darcy info, and it basically tells you that he is like somehow really good at turning people.
Oh, this is the blackmail of Leyland directly. Mr. Leyland. Yeah, this is yeah, they were just directly blackmailing Leyland himself.
Not for this one, I don't think. Or, well, maybe you've already checked it. Another one where you do as well. There's one where you get a good response from Leland, and there's like a very interesting one. Is what I mean.
No.
There's another where
the Halbeck option is literally Mr. Leyland.
Oh, okay. Well, there's another one where you can blackmail Leyland, and so in this one, I believe if you blackmail Leyland, his response is something like, "Yeah, we've got some like random accounts for this or whatever." It's kind of he kind of speak. But there's another one where you blackmail Leyland, where his response is, all right, fine, have your money, but know that nobody steals from me. I will get you for this, and then of course, you can find out how that turns out at the end of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, as Will was saying, we went to Hongxi because Hongxi has some connections with Al Samad, and we were using them to try to figure out what's going on with the assassination of Ronald Sung, I think the name is, if memory serves.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an name for Lord on Guns. That's how you remember his name.
And so he's telling us, man, we'll talk more about this, but I got like a dissension in the ranks need you to take care of first, and if you don't take care of that, I'm not talking to you.
It's just a quid pro quo thing.
Yeah.
In total sense, it's just that he doesn't actually end up giving you that much information. On specifically Al-Samad, he does actually give you some on stuff around town. He'll end up telling you about Omen Dang, and today
First step, remember how to play this game.
All right, well, what you have to do is you have to sprint, you pull out your shotgun. Sorry, SMGs in your case. Sorry. And then you're going to hit escape, load checkpoint.
Don't forget to hit Alt F4, that's super important too. Sorry, the ragdolls in this game are
Yeah, the ragdolls in this game are phenomenal.
Oh, they are always amazing.
Oh right, I forgot you had magic. you have magic stealth powers. Always good to have.
Yeah, always good to like just be able to, like, even better than Hitman 47, just like sneak out of a situation.
Anyway, from the end of this mission is when we're going to get our first comment on Omen Dang. And I think that we're going to get through the NSP hotel mission today.
Probably.
In which case we'll get the rest of the Omen Dang and Ransong dossier information. And
I have
once we
no
get that, I'm
idea
gonna-
how he saw me because I was behind the door.
He might have just heard you.
I'm in
you-
stealth
I mean, if you
gear.
open the door.
You're actually in tactical armor.
You have,
I believe you're actually in advanced tactical armor, which has sound dampening too. So it may be insufficient.
I
You'll
forgot these
possibly, there's a perk you can get that reduces your crouch noise, but
Yeah, in the stealth tree somewhere. Sure.
it's just like sneaking past guys or something, or
Oh,
non-lethal.
one of those random perks.
I mean, there is a
That's always-
sound-running
that's-
skill that I do have. I just almost never use it.
You should. It's really fun, actually. It is very comical to turn it on and then because you can sprint with it
Yeah.
and just sprint through like a level.
then
Like
just
there's a few
throat
places in
punch
Saudi
it,
Arabia
And then
that
just
are
throat punch a ton of
designed
people
very,
because
very well for it.
they're not able to
Yeah.
to hear you.
Yeah.
I think the throat punch is probably my favorite of the like the takedowns. 'Cause
Yeah.
A, it's fast, and B, it's just funny looking.
And also, you know, has a pretty high chance of just straight up killing them.
Fainting them, Alduin, fainting them.
No, I meant killing. You don't have any medical bills if you're dead.
Exactly.
The,
See,
the throat
Alduin
punch is
knows.
actually a non-lethal takedown, though.
I know it is, but it's it's the Batman effect, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Arkham thing, yeah. Because that would not be good for you.
Yeah. Turns out, like, I mean, you're like, it's like you said, it's the Batman way where he doesn't kill people in a way where he totally kills people.
Just cripples them for life or whatever.
You
Dude
know,
can't talk ever.
it's okay to run someone over as long as you tase them first, so it's a non-lethal running over. As any player of Arkham Knight knows, this is true science facts.
I didn't play Arkham Knight, but I have heard. I mean, I'm pretty sure that game they just put a giant gun on the Batmobile.
It's a concussion gun, Alduin. It's not lethal.
Okay,
It only concusses enemies.
right.
Hey, no concussing on the stream. I punch, yes.
I appreciate the
Off their
pun.
body, but the rest of their body remained alive. Was 90% lethal.
I will never get tired of that. Just the way that the ragdolls work in this game, or the way that the pistol makes people go flying in this game specifically.
Punching doors, I see. I see.
That was silly. I love landing at precise shots under fire. Okay. That works. I guess I'll just stab you.
Yeah, they did take down to take out. Wow, I'm surprised you made that alarm.
Same, actually. I too am surprised I was able to get that in time.
By the way, you've been playing the game wrong so far, setting off all these alarms. You actually get a perk for setting off a bunch of alarms.
That sounds believable.
There we go. Perfect. Where are you hiding? It couldn't be where the alarm is.
I do like a lot of the like incidental poster and stuff around, even though this whole feels very strange being a linear level, since it's a slum.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's kind of, well, actually I guess some slums are more linear than other urban areas, just because like they're so crowded and there's a lot of debris. Sometimes to get to or have to go through other houses, or multiple other houses.
These folks just have no idea where you are, do they?
I have no
Actually-
idea why they don't know where I am.
These slums actually look pretty posh compared to some real living conditions
So,
in, let's say,
the
Hong
worst-
Kong. There's space. You can actually like move around. You're not like being in a tiny little cage.
So the
Is it
worst
the
part
thing
about
that
playing
some
this
people-
game is that I've been playing a lot of Hitman, and Hitman C is crouch.
I just found a 10-page list of triad members.
So I keep hitting the weapon,
I think it may be a list of
the
all
weapon toggle when I'm trying to crouch every single time without fail.
It is unfortunate that you're not able to rebind keys. I mean, the game allows you to rebind the keys, but you specifically, for some reason, aren't able to rebind
my
the
thoughts
keys.
exactly.
I mean, this wasn't a problem for him before. It's just that now that he's been playing Hitman.
But
Oh,
also,
he'll get used to it.
I know, and that makes sense with how you can't actually, like, say, hit escape and then options and then key bindings. I mean, the game allows you to, but you specifically, again, can't.
Well, I can't do it now. I'm on camera.
You can do it.
I didn't think about doing it until now.
I mean, you can do it right now.
No, I can't.
Admit your mistakes.
I'm on camera.
Right, you can't admit your mistakes.
I'll make my mistakes, but I can't actually fix them while I'm on camera. But I can ruin Michael Thornton's quads. Yeah, these are actually, yeah, you're right. These are pretty big slum areas.
There has to be enough room to see, is the thing. You have third-person cameras.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game design that it has to be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, compared to there's a great little series on urban living conditions in Hong Kong by Vox Borders
Mhm.
that I read because it shows off real living conditions and how a lot of these problems are caused by simple like, owning issues. And you will see like rooms that have been divided into 3 or 4 mini rooms with a person living in each of them, more commonly 3 mini rooms.
It's just
And
land use.
very, very narrow hallways that go between them.
Mhm.
And actually, like, film in some of those, you could make
There's
actually
the
a very
throat
interesting
punch.
claustrophobic action film type thing in those situations.
Hey Nelson,
Kind
welcome
of
for
like
joining.
kind of being of the vein of Raid, which is an Indonesian film.
Oh,
uh,
right.
First off,
set in
thank
a
you for
tomb.
joining the chat, Nelson. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure this is a better game than The Quiet Man. I can tell you for sure it's a better game than The Quiet Man because I can actually play it.
And yeah, it does seem like they're Stormtrooper AI. They can't see or aim.
Yeah. Or like sense when people are even remotely in the same room.
Yeah, they can't hear. I mean, you do have the like stealthy gear on, right?
No, apparently I don't. I have a noise reduction of 2 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Guard duty? Why would they give guard duty to an accountant?
I was actually wondering how well that
I'm surprised.
just noise reduction 2 would end up working. I don't remember being very good. This gear at the highest level of tactical armor. Medium level has 3. 3 noise reduction, whatever.
This is actually utility armor, I believe, not tactical.
Tactical is the term for the utility.
Oh.
Sorry, tactical the medium level. That's what it is. Tactical utility armor is the medium level. You're in advanced utility armor, I suppose. And
Yeah, 'cause
tactical is somewhat better, I think.
Because there's civvies, and there's the stealth armor, combat armor, and the
Yeah.
utility. Which
I
has
usually run
more.
the stealth armor,
There's-
but the
There's
utility
three-
armor is
there's
pretty
three
good too.
tiers of each.
It depends on how much you actually want to use the utilities. So, and we've talked before about how the using gadgets is a pain in the ass. So
It's
In the
it's
muck,
the it's
step in the muck.
gadgets themselves aren't a pain in the ass. It's mostly the radial, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's typically the radial, not the actual gadgets themselves.
Step in the muck. Step in the muck.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You get this line.
Oh, man. I don't even want to think about what I'm stepping in right now. Remind me to burn everything I'm wearing when I get back.
I mean, don't step in the sewer then. That's my opinion.
I mean, you could just clean your clothes and take a shower.
Yeah, he really, really wants for that do-rag. Begging you, take rid of it.
That's fair.
Let me take cover behind these really big gaps in these boxes.
If there's stuff in the boxes, you know.
Also, well, yes, but you can just see through them, and I keep hitting the wrong button instead of crouch. I will get used to this eventually. Boink!
He's right there, huh?
Boink!
These guys feel even more hapless than
Boink.
normal.
Boink!
Hey, when you get out of this and meet home, why don't you? I assume you're gonna hack the thing behind you, by the
Oh,
way.
I sure am.
Okay, the log. Why don't we blackmail him for like the intel? Way you can show off how pointless doing it. Unless you really use it for something.
No, that works. Barring for intel is fine. I have no reason for get anything else from him.
Good thinking.
It looks like they'll be coming in from the loading dock, directly opposite the door you entered from.
Oh, man, I don't believe this. Our friendly neighborhood
Oh
triads
man, I
didn't
don't
house
believe this. The person we looked for because he had Al Samad connections is working with Al Samad. Can you believe this, guys? This is so shocking. I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
Interesting. Wait, there's a note attached to one of the ledgers.
I expected this of Hong She, but not of James.
The arrangement, but money had nothing to
Yeah.
do with it.
All right, Blake. Keep looking. There has to be more.
Oh, I forgot about you. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, I said. There. My gift to you.
By the way, there's a very odd sort of scene at the end of this. So we're gonna get a whole like ways it's coming or whatever. And when we finish through them, Mike's gonna stroll past a bunch of dead, bloody bodies of theirs. Well, you can actually take out the turrets beforehand, like kill your friendly turret, and then very, very patiently and annoyingly non-lethal your way through this. And
You can, but
no, but my point is that the bloody dead bodies still shows up. Like, I don't think I anticipated that being possible.
oh, you're right. You're right. Because I have done the non-lethal version of this, and like it is actually surprising how little that actually changes the scene that follows. And that it doesn't. So who were they shooting at? Well, whatever. I'm able to get out.
You have to climb down the ladder to get some something that's important.
Okay, let's see what's down here.
Mina, I need you to look something up.
Sorry, there's invisible walls. You have to take the ladder.
Exactly how many diseases can I get from walking.
Dialogue line. That's what.
You'll be fine. After you get your shots. And a full course of antibiotics.
Right.
And a month in the quarantine room.
About that, I just like that line.
Shots. Of course. In a full month.
Oh, the turrets are still shooting while Michael Thornton casually strolls out of the room. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that is literally like the turrets are Michael Thornton, and Michael Thornton is the revelation that Hong Shi is working for Al Samad.
Look, those lieutenants may not be loyal, but those turrets sure are.
Huh. Yeah, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole Omen Dang thing, which we'll discuss when we get to that part of Taipei.
Oh, just so we're clear, I have an entire breakdown of everything wrong with Owen Dane, Ronald Sung's backstory. No, it makes no historical sense whatsoever. I've got stuff.
I mean, it doesn't make any logical sense either.
I'm talking about why your men
Well,
defected. It wasn't a business dispute. Don't you think your men have the right to know that?
I do not take kindly to blackmail, Mr. Thornton. Take care. You will lose a powerful ally if you follow this road with me. Tell me, what is your silence worth?
I think you know more about the major players in Taipei than you let on. Give me everything you have.
Very well, Mr. Thornton. Now, may we return to the business at hand?
Who doesn't hate you for blackmailing him over information?
What was it for?
Oh no, he does. No, he does. That's okay. That's fine.
It just took a while to get to that part, huh?
It's a one dinger.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Finds very valuable.
He's still neutral. Doesn't really
We had
matter.
a long-standing business arrangement.
You've already got the international smuggling contact.
Yeah, a one ding for intelligence is fucking
Anywhere
petty.
else a Montcel operates.
Very astute, Mr. Thornton. You would do very well in this business. I did not sell weapons to Shahid directly. I was merely a facilitator.
Aren't we all facilitators at the end of the day, though, Hong Shi?
Attempt on Sung's life.
I'm willing to provide my information, not my sources.
Fair enough. Let's see it.
As promised, Mr. Thornton. Here is all the information I have regarding this unfortunate business with Mr. Sung.
A pleasure doing business with you.
And with you, Mr. Thornton.
See, now we're back at liked.
One other thing. Beware of the
Good job.
man called Omen Dang.
Omen Dang? Who's he?
I'm afraid no one really knows. He is a powerful man.
You blackmail him for intel.
And I have heard his name
This
mentioned
part.
along with
Yeah.
the rumors of
Okay.
his
Well,
assassination.
then in that case,
My ears open.
extra funny how he does in a dialogue bit where he goes, "Oh, and one more thing. Let me tell you about Omen Dang." After you blackmail him for intel, and he says, "This is all I know.
Do
I
not
promise."
contact me again.
And at the end, he,
I have
"Oh, by the way, here's
all
some more
the
intel."
I'm
You know,
inclined to offer.
Ignore my promise beforehand.
So keep in mind that all he said was that Omen Dang was a power player in the whole thing with Sung.
Oh, yeah. Omen Dang
That's
requires
literally
way
all he
more so.
said. And nothing more. I am not making this abundantly clear to talk about it later in any other way. Not at all. It's just saying it.
And you can open Omen Dang dossier right now, and you'll see that it's the first part of it is pretty generic.
He's a dangerous adversary and related to the assassination of
Sure now.
Ronald Sung.
Got it.
We're not sure how, though.
According to
A
this,
bogeyman.
the White Oak Mountain Triad was approached to provide security for a diplomatic exchange at a subway station on the Qingmei line tomorrow night.
Diplomatic exchange. What links that to the assassination plot?
Hong Shi's lieutenants dug into the guy's background. Turns out, he was an NSB deep cover operative. After some persuasion, he let slip that he was working undercover to foil a major political assassination.
Persuasion. Do I want to know?
You really don't.
That's not a lot of new information.
It's something. Maybe if we can find a way to tap into...
Oh, I will note that the
indicators,
NSB,
we can narrow
the
the
National
search
Security
down.
Bureau, is actually
Just the guy to talk to about that. Hopefully he's not as crazy as
Taiwanese intelligence force.
Heck,
Um,
I'm not
there,
sure I can trust him.
for some reason, we get the Chinese secret police later on, which is completely fictional, but the NSB is real. I wonder why they chose the
Good luck.
That's an interesting
Chinese
point
police
that they
as a
made
fictional thing,
a
since they're
a fictional force when there was already a real force that they were already using.
well, I mean, the NSB is Taiwanese, obviously. But yeah, well, a potential reason might be that
I guess the reveal at the end.
China. Well, no, China is a big market, and they might not take kindly to seeing, like their Ministry of State Security, which would be the actual thing that if you wanted to name drop a Chinese intelligence organization, the Ministry of State Security would be the one to do so, and that's really what they should be. The quote unquote CSP agents that you meet later on.
But is a secret Chinese police force better than their actual police force in terms of representation of Chinese
I don't know, but at least it's not referencing a specific real thing, maybe. I don't know.
True.
They can be very particular about such things.
That's true.
Hong Shi could have gotten me a real sword.
I always heard that as Hong should have, as if like they were on a first name basis, but
Well, somebody doesn't play with subtitles on all the time.
no, like I read it, but I hear it differently than I read it.
I mean, I think the way to joke it or to fake it is to say is Hong sure could have gotten me a real sword.
Yeah. Let's see if we got any Hong Shi. You know,
Oh yeah, since you blackmailed the for intel, you have all of Hong Shi's dossier.
Yeah.
Hong Shi's dossier is bugged somewhat in that the very first intel that you can buy from the clearinghouse is actually his secret fact. So when you buy it, you don't open his dossier, and you have to then get the normal intel from talking to him. That just unlocks the first bit of the intel, and then when you blackmail him for intel, you would get the second part of his dossier.
That
So
you get the secret fact where you actually like get the first
even
fact
meet
of his
him.
dossier.
But the thing is that you can't actually access it, because if you only have the secret fact,
Yeah.
you can't actually open the dossier. That happened to us with Champion Chick in Disclosure Alert. It was one of the funniest moments I think I meant before, where New Dark Cloud said, I like how we know this guy's secret fact, but we don't actually know who the fuck he is because
Yeah.
we've never met him.
Yeah, I remember that.
But what should happen with Hong Shi is you buy his intel, that gives you the first bit. You meet him, that gives you the second half. You blackmail him, you get the secret fact as the thing. But the thing is,
Also,
the secret fact is something you already know.
yeah.
So
Also, read this dossier entry. It basically says, "Look at this badass who is better than you." That's basically like me paraphrasing this whole paragraph.
Also, the last line about his personality shows little emotion, or sometimes the opposite emotion of his actual mood. I don't think that ever comes up whatsoever.
Look, all this basically saying that his penis is his NSB penis is bigger than yours. That's all it's saying. That's literally all it's saying. And like this list really like it almost reads as like, okay, this is how a 4-year-old thought to make his OC look badass.
Is this Scarlet? This is.
Mike, from the plane, right?
You remember?
So now we're doing the hotel heist,
No reason to forget.
which I like this mission a lot.
So, it takes me coming to Taipei.
Oh yeah, this mission's great.
I
This
am
is
a huge
one of the
fan of
best.
Ocean's 11-esque heists.
I remember.
Like that always makes me excited to see one of those in media.
Here in town trying to
Certainly
So-
better than just shooting your way through the slums.
Yes.
Why? Is there something wrong?
Because there are an unfortunate number of
Why do you think that?
missions in this game that are kind of
He's a target.
eh,
I need to warn him.
generic.
I don't have a
Not
lot of
doing
friends
as
here in
much
Taipei,
interesting with
and
the
certainly not
premise
ones
as it
with
could.
press credentials that
Yeah.
move freely.
This one is
What did you have in
probably
mind?
the best or second best of the
I might
like
be.
you're running on the level with people to shoot and or take down or whatever type levels, type missions.
Alright then.
I
Like,
always
probably,
thought it was
probably most
odd.
best missions are the talky ones.
I always thought it was odd that we talked to Scarlet, even though like
Oh.
we only met her once,
Super
and we
odd.
have no real reason to suspect that she'd be interested in political intrigue.
Well, I mean, she's a journalist with connections, and I guess
Right, but you met her
we-
one time, and you didn't really get to build that rapport up.
We need the NSB's
Who knows how long that flight was?
What we don't need is
It
the
just showed you
active
bits of it.
list. I want minimal confrontation.
For instance, Mike could say, "I'm going to sleep now. Stop talking to me."
Actually, that last part.
But actually, Scarlet's the real thing with Scarlet is when we talk to her later, like after a future mission. That's the time that's really why are we talking to this person? Like, we don't necessarily like as far as we know, like they're not part of our secret cabal.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking something.
You know, we
Until that.
use them for a couple of purposes. Like here's how I get information, or here I could use some help on this with this hotel. You know, get me a press pass, basically.
Scarlet, I need you to stay in the lobby for now.
Because
Hang out
she,
at the bar.
just so we're clear, she has a really cool role in this mission.
Talk him up. Find out something useful.
Although I suspect we won't get the best half of her role in this mission.
Sure, Mike.
I mean, she likes us, so
Oh, she does? Okay.
What about me?
You stay in touch with everybody. Keep us all up to date on what's going on. Can you get into the security system?
Already done.
Okay. Everybody knows the score?
yeah. It now that I think about it, it feels weird that we're like relying on Scarlet when we haven't had a moment to really like get her to convince her that we're even like worth her time. Like, I know we had the moment on the plane, and like that's justification. Like, oh no, she can detect that we're an important person just because she has ace journalist skills. But like, we didn't really build that relationship up. Not really.
I mean, I think that there actually should have been an additional like contact Scarlet mission in Taipei,
There should have been, yes.
or just some way for you to talk to her, because Scarlet would be the best person to actually info dump on Omen Day.
Especially to the journalist. Yes, a journalist
she's
would be the
doing the
first
secret
person to
stuff,
go
but
to for
also-
facts.
But much more than that, because of her secret in the matter and wanting to deflect blame onto Omen.
Yeah.
And Omen Dang is a perfect little scapegoat for that.
Except we go to this
that's
Hong
the-
Shi guy who we only meet for that one scene. He never comes up ever again.
Nice distraction. Thanks, Steven.
Alright. We're gonna try to be a little nice. We're gonna try to be nice.
And by nice, you mean only beating up the cops instead of shooting them.
Yes, that is what I mean. What did you
Just
think I
checking.
meant?
It's a very interesting ghost this level. I would refer to it more as like the poltergeist playthrough.
Here's the NSB station.
Didn't say anything about ghosting it.
Some parts of the hotel are locked off with keycard locks.
Never said that at all. I don't know what gave you that impression.
It's a good thing you have so much fucking endurance.
Alarms going off, hotel not being evacuated. Yeah, when you play this mission a certain way, it doesn't make as much sense.
I forget how to switch ammo types.
X maybe?
Okay, yes. Tranquilize around, because going through this with martial arts only is going to be really frustrating really quickly.
Yeah, because your status so low.
Because you have no points in.
That's why it'll be
comfort.
frustrating very quickly. 4 and 5. Okay.
Anyway, this mission is actually a pretty cool setup. The idea is that the NSB are going to be camped at this hotel because there's a bunch of dignitaries and they're there to provide protection for them and also maybe spy on them. And since they have to move all their hardware to the hotel, well, since they have to move a bunch of hardware to the hotel, keep an uplink to their databases back at headquarters, you don't actually have to, in order to bug their info, you don't actually have to break into their headquarters. You just need to sneak into this not so heavily guarded hotel. bug their uplinks here and then remotely access their servers, which is actually a pretty clever little setup. You're exploiting their security loophole, basically. They thought they'd be fine because, we're a security bro. This is just a hotel. Nothing's going to be problematic. There's going to be no spawn of an American ninja and Ronald Reagan coming in here.
Alright, so I think we've got everything in this room. Some good money, some good hacking experience.
And we just have Heck as the distraction, which is...
That's what he's good for.
Still it to get us some passes, hotel passes, from the press floor, and Mina to coordinate everybody, and Mike to run around and be ridiculous. Hey, would you move the camera to look at Mike's face?
He didn't happen to have an access pass.
Like up real close.
To the convention floor, did he?
Funny enough,
If you could do that.
I think he
I will, in a second.
Perfect. You did great, Scarlet.
One more little surprise for you. I managed to snap a picture of him. Seems like if security were told it was the face of a known sex offender.
That would make
Like
a
the
nice
closest,
distraction for hotel
the
security.
zoomed in the best you can get.
Meet me in the restroom by the VIP suite. I'll give you what I have.
On my way.
All right, that'll work. That'll work. It's fine. It's too late. Don't worry about it. I got what I needed.
Okay.
Here you go, Mike.
So that was completely silent. No alarms were raised. No one is any wiser to our presence here.
Thanks, Scarlet.
Flawless.
Seeing you, Mike.
Perfect.
Well,
And
Sc-
when they
Scar-
wake up, they will
Scarlet
not
knew that.
speak of anything that happened.
Patrolling the penthouse floor.
On threat of death. Oh yeah. I'm a stealth master. It's a stealth alarm. The alarm goes off to show how good a sneaker I am.
Sure.
It's more like a congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, you are Sir Stealthy. Also, these guys are hilariously
Everybody-
inaccurate.
Everybody, come and look at how stealthy this guy is.
Hilariously inaccurate.
You are literally just standing there waiting for the thing to... That's impressive.
Yeah, it is actually extraordinary how inaccurate these guys are with their guns. Oh, hi. Go down. I can't wait till we do the fucking CIA mission.
To be fair, they are stationed in the area with the booze.
Are
So
you
you're saying
accusing
they're
them of
not-
drinking on the job?
No, I'm stating it as like
It's not an accusation, they are.
It would be
how-
funny
how
if you
you start stealthing, like even though they're alarming off or whatever, you just start stealthing for a part just because you want to hurt Mike from that. Yeah.
It would be funny if you could get access to a report that like mentioned that their blood alcohol content was too high.
All right, I've got an access badge and a floor plan of the
Actually,
hotel.
that was actually
Setting
a
espresso
really good
penthouse goes straight to the
install
conference
device
floor.
type thing, like
Work, Mike.
Oh, you like-
some drinks, or bribe a waiter to go out and say, oh, free drinks for you guys,
Yeah.
since of the good job you're doing.
There are a lot of things they could do, but unfortunately, like this feels like a definitely a victim of this game's budget or the time.
I mean, it's just more content, right?
I mean,
Like,
Yeah.
all of that is actually just text, or a small modifier, like.
Because like this would ideally be like a fantastic Hitman level, or like a level like a stealth level in Hitman systems where you don't actually assassinate anybody. A rare Hitman level where you don't actually kill anybody.
I mean, I think the game would be much better if they had, say, cut out about half the act missions, and made each of those like full level that you have to navigate or think your way through,
yeah,
Yeah.
or interact with the environment your way through, rather than being linear levels.
more like a Dishonored.
Like this
kind of thing.
hotel would be a great level to have. Yeah, a bit more like a Dishonored or a Hitman.
Oh yeah, that would be. I mean, we talked about this before, where like this game would have been perfect as like an immersive sim.
Yeah.
As that
I
genre
mean,
has
just
become.
so we're clear, I don't want it to be only that. Like I think we want like a few levels like that.
Yeah, and
Just
then you have the
few of
talkie bits,
those
which are the game's
you
like
just
clear
go.
highlight.
Yeah, and then you supplement that with, well, or you
And that should do it.
use those big areas to kind of frame the
Taiwan has a
the
version of
bits.
Megaslaw.
Yeah.
But then like we need this, and well, actually the G22 stealth mission could actually be a pretty decent one that you have to go into if you make it a very hardened area and there's only a couple points of entry.
Got it.
Hey, that's swell, Mike. Really great. You think you could do me a solid and find a file on the NSB servers for me?
I guess. What file?
But the slums mission here or the Qingmei line mission that we're about to do,
Sure.
you don't really need those.
You're the best, Mike.
I love he doesn't actually say what file we're supposed to delete for him. He just kind of like says, "Oh, it would mean a lot to me."
He's told you about it beforehand. He's talking about his personal it's the NSB's dossier on Stephen Heck.
Yeah, I remember that.
You can choose not to delete it. We'll get
We
unique
will.
highlight from that.
We will. We'll be nice to him.
You be nice to him. You be mean to him here. Look. If you're nice to Steven, then that means you're mean to little Steven Jr.
Huh?
When you delete Stephen Hick's file, he goes, thanks a million, Mike. Of course, this will be a little more difficult in Junior now, not having any legal records of a father or anything, but...
Should I go for 2 ranks in pistols and 1 in sabotage?
I don't know, this seems like something that you couldn't do on camera.
Yeah,
No.
we'll do that. We'll do that. That's what we'll do. No lock shall go unpicked. Ever. That's a sin.
Speed, just like on the floor. So yeah, you actually do have it.
It's
And
like
we're about
it's
to
the
get-
Deus Ex syndrome. I have the key, but I've got the lockpicker for the experience points. Let me just ruin my quads.
That logo, by the way, is accurate, I believe. Yeah.
Perfect.
The NSP's logo, the Taiwanese logo really does look like a Pokeball.
It's a good thing you have so many trank darts. Wait, did they just not notice you shoot this game?
They didn't notice that where that guy
That
walking in
does
the
kind of
back.
look like a Pokeball. But yeah, that guy just totally watched his friend get shot in the face and then did fucking nothing until I shot his other friend in the face.
I think what's really in those coffee cups.
So what do you guys think the next Obsidian game is going to be? They're supposed to be announcing it soon. There's been some rumors going around.
I mean, I would like them to try another like modern day RPG like this, but I don't know if they'd be willing to because
I'm downloading
this
Yeah.
game was, you know,
Not received.
some
Great.
attempt at
It's also not
infiltration into his
created well,
organization
either.
was made, and
Oh, yeah.
Before the agent in question was killed, he was able to bug some important intel.
That could be useful.
You're telling me.
Hey, Mike, you're not gonna go and do something like forget to wait.
My
for
guess
a
is
while,
that
are ya?
they'll end up doing something,
NSB security
just something else with like the Bernie engine,
to cancel the security lockdown to get out of there. Hurry, Mike.
but maybe in another different setting, just like in Exile did Numenera with the same engine.
Yeah.
Steven, do you copy?
Like a floppy? What's up?
I took care of that file you asked me about. As far as the NSB is concerned,
That would be my
opening
guess, just
the
because
world
that's what they've had the most recent success with. You know, they could pitch it as a sort of proven stuff.
Junior suddenly having no legal identity, but hey, thanks anyways.
Sure.
Did that guard just go flying when I broke the door down? I think so. So I have thought about numerous ways to beat this mission, and I have decided to just go woo and just like rush it because it's not worth actually fighting any of these guys.
Pretty accurate. Oh, and we got to see Steven spawn in. That was pretty neat. He just popped in out of nowhere.
Heck.
Yeah.
There's no time. Just get out of there.
All right. Yeah, with Steven there, it's just not worth fighting the guards. He can take him. So with that, I think we can just waltz right out of here.
I remember my very first time playing through this mission, like sprinting towards the door to escape, and then it goes, "Oh, the door's locked. You gotta go to the other place. Locked down." So run up there, go with that. Then I sprint back to the door. Is it still locked?
On my way.
And then running around trying to figure out, oh, how the frig am I supposed to get out here?
I think it's happening to me right now. Actually, you just actually describe what's happening
It's-
on camera.
Okay, it's downstairs. It's to the left of where the. If you're at the doors, you want to go.
It is actually scary how
It's behind
accurately
the
described what was going on
concierge.
camera at the time.
Okay, it's behind the concierge desk.
Found it. Thank you.
And then they kind of go like this weird back hall that goes to like an elevator. I don't know where the hell this is supposed to really go, like some back parking garage or something. It's very strange. Like it feels very like you've discovered a like underground ability type thing.
Okay,
It's very
what's the
weird.
elevator?
Yeah, we're going to the Batcave.
Get me out?
Not the most organic
I mean-
level design is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, haven't been in the back of like.
Oh.
A
By the way,
hotel before.
the Grand Hotel is a real building, by the way. Although
Oh, right.
it has fewer floors on it than exist in this game. Like it's a 12-floor building or something, and you go to like floor 15 or something, or floor 16 in this game.
No lethal force was used in dealing with the guards. It very clearly says it right here.
Good job.
They are going to be hurting, but they're not dead. Settling trade on the retrieve valuable information about the assassination plot. Okay, so again, there's an assassination plot, and we know there's this Omen Dang guy, but we have nothing linking these two facts together.
Yeah, I can see you.
I can see you too, Mike.
Okay. What's on your mind, Heck?
And this gets frustrating with the way this hub ends up.
Find out if all that killing I didn't do was worth your while.
Yeah, they really. So, yeah, we'll just go over
It's
it.
like they
Yeah,
keep anything secret from spies.
gonna be set up such. Well,
We do
Mike is gonna try and stop Omen from assassinating the president. And meanwhile, from Omen Dang's perspective, he thinks Mike Thornton is trying to assassinate the president, so he's trying to stop him. Really, it's a random third actor,
Yeah.
a secret assassin who, I mean, yeah, I think we already said it's actually Scarlet. Scarlet Lake is the secret assassin.
And you
And
were
yet-
actually you were saying like it would have made sense if Scarlet was like the informant of Omen Dang to kind of like
Absolutely, because it throws her off her trail.
Yeah, it would make perfect sense, but no, instead we get this random guy who people never talk to ever again. And he just drops the name Omen Dang without actually giving him any real context.
By the way, since you're here, can you check your email and check like oh yes, it's this one. The Mr. Peterson email, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you're gonna want to blacklist this one.
Mr. Peterson, I came across your accountant's communique regarding your SPE approach to cooking the books. I think I'd like a taste of the profits. I was going to stay at the IRS with Leyland carbon copied, of course, and wait to see your face all over the news.
I think that's the one that we want.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, that's the one we want. When you get back that email, we are going to read it out.
And this is the other one we got from Leyland. We just said, we made the right decision, letting him know that letting him know. We get money out of it.
Yeah, but the other time that you can blackmail England is much better. I believe it's Rome one. Yeah.
More information on Parker.
If you're aggressive in one of the early emails, she will give you a bonus time of this where she'll find information basically.
I think we did that.
And that's just right. Well, you get to choose one of the three to do. Parker's is definitely the best one. She says, "Hey, do you know that Alan Parker saw porno films in the 1970s?"
Oh God.
I mean, he didn't, but that actually would have been a pretty good open email one. Then she gives you the actual dossier.
Right.
It's pretty good. And I think she has other ones from Darcy and
This is
Westeros.
faction. I know what faction I want to see what I have on Dang.
You should have everything on Sung, and I would like to talk about it.
Dang's true name means something close to division hand in English. His father sent this name for his son before he was
You
jailed.
don't have to put Dang yet.
Yeah, you're missing one.
He was also a bodyguard and first messenger for Ronald Sung for many years. Sung did not forget his employees' loyalty and took care of his family after his imprisonment. Sung was a distant patron at best, but he ensured that Dang and his mother were comfortable. So I have a very distinctive memory of reading this dossier and going, oh, hey, this guy will be my ally throughout the rest of this hub, because he's, of course, a friend of the guy who took care of him and his family. I have a distinct memory of having this exact thought process in my head.
Doesn't really work out that way.
Well, they probably, if they wanted to sell it, they could have split it in the dossier by saying, like, he used to be close to the family, and then they grew distant after some,
But they didn't
undisclosed
say
event.
that.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that.
Yeah. They don't say that at all. In fact, it very clearly implies that there is no reason Omen Deng would have to kill Ronald Sung.
You should get the third part of Omendang's from your G22 bot. Anyway, Omendang and Ronald Sung's dossiers indicate to me very clearly that who them does not understand the ROC-ERC, the Taiwanese Chinese relations, cross-strait relations. They don't understand what's going on, and they don't understand what Taiwanese independence actually means.
You're talking about Obsidian, right? The developers.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on. It's like in other times they do display like a decent knowledge of stuff. Like some of the news reports are good. Some of them contain very incorrect information. Like one of the news says that the U.S. has stated that they'll intervene if China attacks Taiwan and invades Taiwan because of Taiwanese independence declaration. That's actually factually incorrect. That is something that the U.S. has never stated they will do. Deliberately never stated that they will do. Deliberately never stated that they will do. The U.S. government has also never stated they won't intervene in this situation. And that kind of policy is called a policy of deliberate ambiguity. Don't say what you're going to do, specifically so that people don't take actions that you might not want to actually get involved in. So the U.S. doesn't say that it's going to step in a Chinese Taiwan conflict, so that Taiwanese politicians don't get too gung ho about pissing off China. But also don't say that they won't step in, so that China doesn't get too aggressive towards Taiwan.
It's neutrality.
Hey,
It's taking a neutral stance so that you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Sometimes that works out like completely worse. Like for instance,
Appeasement?
The Saddam Hussein was deliberate and was ambiguous about whether he was developing weapons of mass destruction, and the point of it was that nobody will. As long as some people think that we are, then they won't try and invade us. So it's like national security. But if we don't actually declare that we are, nobody will invade us. And get rid of it, and that worked out double opposite because you got
you can get the best of both
because
worlds.
of that, and he's been having views. one famous example, and this is more successful one, is Israel has nuclear weapons, but they don't.
Right.
They
Well,
have nuclear
anyways,
weapons
I thought
because
you
if they
were
said that they would have nuclear
this
weapons, they'd have to
book
be
and all.
then technically have to be subject to international treaties because they kind of illegally have them. They really shouldn't have them in terms of treaties that they signed, to non-proliferation treaties. But I'm not saying that they don't have them.
You know,
So they,
there could be a lot of
intelligence-wise, they certainly do have them. They have like
If you
D or
wanted to help
something.
me take 'em out,
Uh,
well, I would
They
say
get
no.
some national security from their neighbors.
Oh, Mike, you don't know how much that means to
Anyway,
me.
polar ambiguity, and the U.S. has one specifically with regards to China and Taiwan, so that
I think you
a
got
conflict doesn't erupt, so that there
Why do
gets
I
too
gotta feel
aggressive,
like
basically.
plan this?
Yeah, there's a lot of like double think going on with
Right.
Taiwan and China because
Okay
like
then.
you have one China policy where like technically there's only one China, but everyone acts like there's two Chinas because there is.
Well, the thing, like, it's even those are ambiguous, like the different one Chinas or the different terminology that's been used in, because there's multiple different declarations between
I'm not seeing
the
it.
PC and the
I'm
ROC
sure
about
we're
the
in the
matter,
right place.
and they're all like worded to make it look good for their own people.
Yeah.
Without necessarily pissing off the other side, but even also have like
How's it doing
different.
over
The U.S. has also stated at points that it's subscribes to a one China policy, but has never explicitly stated what that means for it.
Yeah.
What
Which
that
one
means to
China
the
is the
US
one
government.
China? You mean?
Well, that, but also like, does their one China mean one government rule over one China? What does their one China mean? Oh, it's only one China because there's one China and Taiwan.
And one Taiwan?
Right, which is actually what Taiwanese independence is about. So the way that the Song's dossier especially, but also Omen Ding's dossier kind of implicitly, and Ronald Sung's a bit more explicit, I guess. Try and like the way that they kind of portray the situation is like a text-independent movement or something. It's like a provincial independence movement where it's like, or like a Basque independence movement would be an even better example, I think. Where it's like it's a state level movement that wants to break away and form its own country, independent from the federal government structure. And so there's federal government in place, but also the state government, and the state government wants to basically remove the federal government and become its own federal government, basically.
Yeah.
For instance, in Deng's dossier, he reports the secret organization that they're a part of to the Chinese authorities. That's not
So,
the here at all. Like,
can we-
Taiwan, Chinese authorities on Taiwan. It's ruled by a different government. The mainland China is ruled by ROC. The island of Taiwan is run by ROC, and these are completely different governments who are on opposite sides of the 70 years ago.
So can we talk about how Omen Dang just threw us in a thing with the intent of locking us up, but
His
forgot
minions are less
the
skeletons.
massive grate the grate had a massive hole in it that we could just jump down?
There's that, yeah. That is pretty funny. To be fair, like, the way Omen Dang talks, or he can talk, he clearly thinks that you're going to escape. His job is actually kill you or leave you there. In fact, one of the things he is like, if you're as good as I've heard you are, you'll have no problem getting out here. After I have collected the information that I need. You can get out of here. He doesn't seem to care, although his minions certainly care.
Yeah, it's also weird that they shoot you
So
on
weird.
sight.
That's really weird. That's
When
really weird.
like he has no, if he seems like he has no interest in killing you, then why is his minion shooting you on sight? Because these are his boys.
The way that they should set this up is you have to do some like couple hacking mini games thing to X out of the area that you're in and then move to the next area, and then his men see you. Or his men are wandering around and they see you. They figure, oh, you're trying to interfere with Dang's plot here. Okay, we gotta take you out. Actually, would have been a better way to do it. Unless they're trying to deliberately sell like Dang's men aren't actually loyal to him because they have different agendas, which they have, but they don't sell that anywhere else.
I also like to talk about the fact that Omen Dang's hair is blonde, and like I feel like if he was
It
trying
actually
to be
looks like
secret,
looks like he's bleached actually.
Like,
Like black
yeah, that's what I mean. Like he bleached his hair when,
or
like, if
albino,
you're a
maybe.
secret agent trying to be stealthy, I feel like that's not the right thing to do because you just like it's pretty easy to see.
I mean, this game has deliberately inconsistent aesthetics.
Well,
So if it looks cool, who cares?
Like, cause I said it in the original recording, but he looks like a Raiju Kuzunoa knockoff from fucking
Okay,
SMT.
So yeah, I think you posted that image before, and it looks pretty accurate. So, I have to bitch more about Omen Dang's, and I have to bitch more about the backplate that they've set up here. But I will say Omen Dang's outfit, which ridiculous type thing, like looks
Is
very
actually
awesome.
like an
It's
actual
actually
outfit.
super accurate. So that he's on the characters that he's got on his cape, just a police. That's just the character's name. They simply mean
Fuck
police.
it.
And if you go in the on your intel section, check the dossier for the Chinese secret police. Man, those guys are just they don't give any fucks.
I feel like I got stunlocked in a really unfortunate way.
The Chinese secret police logo is just these characters, and it looks like dressed up like, oh, he's dressed up in the Chinese secret police logo. No, that logo just on the thinking police. I don't know why they put that logo in the Chinese secret police dossier information that those characters in the logo section for the Chinese police, but they did. It was a very, very poor choice. But yeah, the being police, and specifically being police in the traditional character set, traditional Chinese character set, which is used in Taiwan. In mainland China, different characters are used from the simplified China, are more often used for listing out police. For listing out Chinese police, use the traditional characters for talking about police from other countries. These ones, those would be the characters. You can Google images of Taiwan police officers. They will have those characters on their body armor. Now, they probably aren't wearing a ridiculous cape around, but very, very
Yeah, the
obvious.
cape makes me think he likes trying to think
But
of himself as a superhero.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, Mike calls him out on that, and it's very appropriate. And his hat as well has the symbol of the Taiwanese National Police Agency on it. So actually, Omen Dang is dressed up just like he were a super badass long version of a Taiwanese police officer. So he's actually super fitting in with the era, with the setting.
Bleached hair aside.
Yeah. I mean,
And cape aside.
He's not.
It's not
That's just
far
him
out.
looking like badass.
Yeah.
Right. That's not him looking like, oh, this guy is actually a foreign agent operating in the country.
I really dislike these guys' combat grunts, or like their death grunts. I'm not sure why. Like, it seems.
There's no way to
It
get
seems vaguely racist the way they have their death screams. I'm not
That
sure
sounds
why
like
I think that.
It sounds like a reasonable description of Taipei in general.
Yeah. Like,
It's
I
just
don't know
like not
why
interrogating a lot of those.
gives me vaguely racist overtones. It just does.
Well, it's like the rest of this game, right? Like, it's using the stereotypes of the genre, and those stereotypes of the genre are not always the best.
Fair enough.
They do the same thing in Russia.
That is also really true with the fucking tracksuits. The really bad tracksuits.
It's very like
And-
80s Russian mob kind of thing.
This is a nice, by the way, where it like further doesn't make sense that we're being all mono dudes, because Chinese and Taiwanese ton of women in police forces. Like, that's just like, this is actually inaccurate to real life. Like, not even you should have gender balance moves, but
Like, not
this is
even
actually
close?
inaccurate. Yeah, this is just inaccurate.
They were just lazy making their moves, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it feels like they needed a random nuke force, and like I guess Chinese secret police is sufficient of an excuse. I guess.
I mean, a lot of this game is just.
That's
like,
also actually even more in this. Number two, when you have crit forces, like you even more actively recruit other arrays of people because you're specifically trying to be secret. You're you know,
Yeah.
you get people who can run in many different environments.
Also, I feel like if you were a secret police, you wouldn't have a legion of soldiers in one location.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not going to bring like all your old people on,
Yeah.
you know, super difficult mission,
You'd
but
probably also like be.
you'd have a lot of different people.
I feel like you'd be in smaller cells than like the very
yeah,
high numbers
you'd
of people
fight.
I've just murdered in the span of 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, it's
We
video
fight
game.
way many people.
It's video games.
I made I don't even consider it a joke actually. A while ago, where I said that instead of calling it story mode, you skip the combat. We call it realistic mode. You don't kill 10,000 people. This area has a pretty cool, pretty neat thing, by the way. If you're allied with G22, you can hire assistance in this mission, and the G22 agent will come on the radio during the last segment, will guide you through those pipes and like tell you when you should move, because the guard patterns will be looking at you at that. So they'll go in and go say, okay, stop here, and then it waits for like a significant period of time actually, and then goes, all right, now move forward. So those pipes you see along, you can actually on those and crawl along and use the sneak past the vast majority of the guards. There's like one guard down here near this money case you picked up that kind of have to do a little more sneaking around if you want to get the case. But other than that, it's actually a pretty easy.
I
To
feel
stealth.
like we've abandoned the notion of sneaking around like
Oh, well,
6 hours ago.
I think you should go climb on the pipes just for the just to make the point of it.
There's hardly anybody here. Where are Dang's men?
The transponder says they're in
If I see more pipes, I will. But I think
no,
we're past that section
That
now at this
section
point.
that section is past. You've ruined the moment.
The gates to the bottom platform are closed. I need to find the control room.
Remember, the security guards
Anyway,
aren't
the actual Taiwanese independence is
Oh,
not
be careful.
The
so.
last thing we need is to get recorded. Try to turn off those
Oh,
station cameras while
did
you're
my
at it.
message distract you?
Yes, it distracted me.
All right, let's Do you have enough time to wrap up this
Logan,
mission?
You
Maybe.
can't post those kinds of things without expecting them to distract. God, out of it.
Go ahead. We can keep going. But yeah, you're talking about the Taiwanese independence movement.
So the way that it presents it in those dossiers is very much like, oh, it's a province that wants to break away and start its own country, sort of thing, like a situation or whatever. Or instead, no, that's not what it's about. Taiwan is governed already by a totally different government than
Yeah.
mainland China. The actual problem is that, so historically, there was a civil war between the two of them, and
Yeah.
that civil war kind of never ended. And the official stance was that China and Taiwan are one large territory, and the PRC, the communist government, claimed control over that entire territory, and the nationalist government, the KMT, the Kuomintang, also control over that entire area. Although there's actually tricky bits, like Taiwan was technically only returned to, quote unquote, returned to Chinese sovereignty after World War II, because it was controlled by Japan past like 30 years before then, and they were inheriting claims from the Qing dynasty. So the Chinese claims inheriting Qing dynasty like before the Republic of China actually got done, before the China Revolution. So it's actually pretty complicated in there. Actually, probably the funniest solution, technically the U.S. actually has sovereignty over the island of Taiwan, because it gained sovereignty over a lot of like random Japanese territorial claims after World War II. So there's some weird, like, there's actually been like a few potential court cases involving that, and they've
Gates
all
open
like
now. Time to say
not
hello
been
to
touched with
friends
10-foot
downstairs.
poles, so to speak.
Heck,
Yeah,
a lot of
because
guys
like
down
this
here.
isn't. It's not really a legal question. It's a political question, right?
Yeah, that's actually why it was thrown out. Yeah, it's a political
Yeah.
question.
My way to you right now, pal.
So they didn't rule whether it would be a correct legal thing or not. They're just like, we'll figure it out somewhere else, not here in the courts where that would be buying. Let the diplomats do it. But anyway, the actual situation is for what the actual okay, so it's so one time in Taiwan it was controlled by a party military dictatorship. The KMT controlled it as that. That was until late 80s when there was political liberalization and like all of a sudden it was legal to have more than one political party. And that's the DPP, the Democratic Progressive, kind of comes out of. And so for a long time the official government view and actually the kind of mainstream was that mainland China was rightly owned by the government of Taiwan, and were just, it was just in rebellion and insurrection at the time. In the sea, likewise, the same. But with ingrowth in like the 80s and 90s and 2000s, increasingly much more switch to people viewing Taiwan as kind of its own separate thing, but viewing it not as being Chinese. They view themselves as being Taiwanese. So Taiwanese independence is more about like really pressing forward on that Taiwanese identity rather than we should reclaim the homeland or whatever. It's like no. Actually, we have our own culture going on here, which is like way more important to us than trying to connect with or just reconnect with a group of people who have kind of developed differently than us. Like Taiwan does have its own culture. It does. Like there were Taiwanese indigenous people, and then settlers from China several hundred years ago. That too. Okay. Anyways, several waves of different settlers and different indigenous groups still exist today. And then later on, the mainland Han-Chinese settlers after World War II and after the Chinese Civil War. So it has its own complicated history.
Yeah.
Taiwanese independence is more about saying, no, it's not saying we want to break away from you. It's instead saying, we would like to break away from us.
Yeah.
Saying, we would like to announce our claims on you.
Yeah.
Because we are actually part of the same territorial area. We are instead our own geography. We're instead our own nation.
Yeah. Because practically speaking, like, it wouldn't make any difference. Like, if they officially supported a policy of independence, like, that would just be like, oh, we're not China anymore, because technically they're the Republic of China, right?
Well, it's the case. The problem with that is it's very problematic for the People's Republic of China, because they've adopted, Taiwan is part of our national territory as a core tenet, and if they let go of that has implications for not number one. I mean, it's a pretty highly economically important region, and there's several million people. It's actually pretty big there. If they let go of that, then that has major implications for. Number one, it just looks bad. They've written into their constitution that Taiwan is part of China. It looks really bad in relation to Hong Kong and Tibet and Xinjiang, the territory in the West, where all of a sudden
as a brief
you could
detour,
have.
Interesting fact: if you have enough technical aptitude, then this doesn't happen. Instead, Mina's the one that does the actual job. But
Well, if you were shittier at this game, we could just show that instead of telling it.
But like if you're not a technical boy, then Mina does this. But if you are a technical boy, then you do this, and Mina coaches you.
There's a few cases. I think there's a few cases where Mass Effect does that too. Or like it depends on your hacking or whatever the hell the other opening thing skill is.
But since we have enough technical aptitude, we're going to fuck up instead. So it's going to be Mike's can't do both. Anyway, letting go of Taiwan, so to speak, letting go of that formal claim on Taiwan, and just kind of accepting, de facto, these are two different countries, basically.
Yeah.
Would have major implications for the rest of Chinese national sovereignty.
And that's why you have the one China policy, where no one recognizes, or very few countries recognize Taiwan as Republic of China, let alone as.
Well, that's pretty much because the
Yeah.
PRC is a major,
They don't
more
wanna piss
corrupt
off
economy.
PRC.
So-
Like the U.S. To recognizing PRC as China in terms of the United Nations in like 1974. Technically,
me
most
ask the-
countries still maintain relations by cultural bureaus or whatever, but they're basically embassies. Yeah, go ahead. I'll pour
So
later.
I want to bring up the whole thing about like the hard drive is formatted such that you can only save one of the files of the ones about the assassination or the riots. Assuming Omen Dang is trying to get this to Sung, which I have no reason to believe that's anything else. That's nothing but what he would do.
I mean, well, what happened there is he was trying to intercept it from the person trying to give it to Scarlet. I think is actually what was happening.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why it's encrypted. So he's actually trying to intercept data as well, and you happen to stumble also trying to intercept.
But
the
then
data.
why are there a bunch of his boys like protecting the deal?
Operational funds.
Like that, those are his men.
Days I needed the cash flow.
If it's not him doing this handoff,
Okay, no, that's actually a really good point, and that would be even a better reason to have like multiple factions of the CSP, where some of them want to kill Thornton and some of them are loyal to Dang's idea, and some of them are like end up effectively working Scarlet or something. Okay, that's a really good point. I wish they had a much.
but
better
like yeah, if this is really like the handoff to Scarlet, then like his boy should not be the ones you're killing. It should be some other.
I figured it out. It's because you have to shoot somebody.
Less work.
Design.
The best choice I could, given the options.
But yeah, that's a really good point.
So like I have to assume that if it's his boys, then the handoff is from his men to his men. In which case, if the goal is to get it public, why would you encrypt it to self-destruct? There is no reason for you to encrypt it in that way.
Well, the thing is that Hangsha, the person that hung torture information, there was a story, and that person is secret be double agent. So maybe the courier has already gotten the information and they were like supposed to give it to somebody else, and then they've gone and decided to give it to Omen Dang because they're secretly an NSB agent, and then Omen Dang, because they have access to the NSB intel, completely unlike us. They know that Dang is a good guy, but that explains a million CSP agents there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this game doesn't really care that much about.
Also,
being
the game
those
does not in that sort of situation well.
It just wants
I'm mad talking that. I want to make clear.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm sorry. I don't want to piss them off. It's just like that's something like this particular hub world really bothers me in the way that like there's so many like little details they get wrong that when you combine them, it starts to like you get like what the fuck were you thinking? Like everything here is wrong in some way. Every like detail in the Taipei quest line is wrong in some way.
Actually, there's something I mentioned. Even the title of the quest, even the title of the hub is wrong. It's called True Heirs, and that heirs is reference to the organization that Rong and Dang's father were a part of. Believe that Taiwan was the true heir to Chinese culture. Yeah, that's not a fucking secret organization back in the 50s or something. No, that was the main view of the Kuomintang on Taiwan. That was actually like the core tenet. Yeah, Taiwan was the government on Taiwan was the legitimate Chinese government. They were the inheritors. The communist government was just a bunch of rebels that took over this country illegally. So yeah, no, like that's number one. That's not some secret organization back then. That was the view. Number two, that's the exact opposite view of the Taiwanese independence movement. The Taiwanese independence movement rejects that view, and instead says, no, Taiwan is its own deal. So
Taiwan is Taiwan, separate from China.
Taiwan is Taiwan. China is China, and Chinese culture is Chinese culture. Chinese culture is Taiwanese culture. With it had some Chinese background, or whatever, but no, we're our own culture. So calling it true heirs actually is opposite of thing for a for a person pushing for Taiwanese independence, and the fact that Ronald Sung, who's clearly, because he's pushing for Taiwanese independence, clearly means that he has to be part of like the DPP, because that's their foundational concept.
But
kind of
he can't be
general
that
center
and
level one. But he can't be that and be Bears.
Yeah, he
'Cause
can't
Bears
be.
is classic KMT.
You can't believe that Taiwan is
ideology.
Taiwan and China is China, and believe that Taiwan is the true China at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like those are contradictory beliefs in.
Yeah, those are
normal
fundamentally opposing beliefs.
You could potentially make something like that that's synthetic between the two, maybe, but I think that Ronald
That's
Sung
not
would
what's
never
right.
get elected. I think he would lose the votes of both KMT voters and DPP voters.
But yeah,
So I don't think he'd ever get there. The fact that he must be DPP Taiwanese independence does actually mean later when we meet him. We'll talk about that next because I think
We have the full dossier on
I think
getting now, by the way.
Here is where to end the episode. Read that email from my favor.
I do need to get out of here. Just
Yeah,
FYI.
I know, but
we are
let's
wrapping
go ahead
up.
and end the episode on if we can.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we are
I
ending.
enjoyed the conversation about the Taiwanese independence movement.
No. Go back to the email.
I
You want to
am.
read that one. It's very important. We sent you your money as requested. You do realize, though, this email was sent with a disclaimer that specifically calls out that unauthorized use of my email is illegal, so don't suggest going public with this. It's a shut case. Now read that disclaimer. This is intended for the addressee shown. It contains information that is protected, confidential, and protected from disclosure. You see? They made a critical mistake in there. They protected that email from disclosure, but they did not protect it from disclosure alert.
Also, hold on though. We are not disclosing. We are closure. This is closure. We are closing this email out.
Goodbye.
Take care,
Thanks.
guys. I will see you next time as
Yeah.
Will tells us more about all the things Obsidian got wrong with Taiwan and the politics thereof.
Thanks for watching.
Really wouldn't.
It
take
is actually
that much
shocking
to
just
figure
how
some of
wrong
that out.
they got this whole thing. But we'll get into
Anyway.
that next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. I'll talk to you guys next week, hopefully.
See ya.
Thanks for watching.